It is the worst type of irony when an offense that hasn't scored a touchdown in 7 quarters, almost 2 full games, 20 straight possessions without a touchdown, is finally unleashed the talent that we know this team has. DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Noah Fant, Zach Charbonnet, Geno Smith put up 35 points, 5 touchdowns in this game on one of the league's best defenses, a defense with an MVP candidate in Micah Parsons, a defense with a pick-six machine in Deron Bland, who is making history. And the other side of the ball just doesn't show up. The side of the ball that has been carrying you for 11 games when you did nothing. A special teams unit that was scoring all your points. And Jason Myers goes 0 for 1, missing a 42-yard field goal. And if you're watching on YouTube or you watched the game, you saw that Brandon Aubrey, the Dallas Cowboys kicker, went 4 for 4 on field goals. The Seattle Seahawks gift the Dallas Cowboys a 41-35 win after the Seahawks were leading this game 35-27 in the fourth quarter. You can't win the game in the first quarter. You can't win the game in the second quarter. You can't win the game in the third quarter. You can win it in the fourth quarter. Pete Carroll, you're full of crap. This is the third fourth quarter lead blown by the Seahawks in the last 4 games. And in a game where you were barely above 500, a 6-5 team, you had a shot to make a statement here, to stay strongly in the playoff race on a week where a few days ago the Vikings lost to the Bears, where the Rams, the Packers, Falcons, Buccaneers, all looking to get a playoff spot. Some of them struggled, some of them still roaring for that last spot. And you have everything in front of you. Everything in front of you. And you blow it. You give a gift. It's not even Christmas. You gift them the damn win. Geno Smith. 23 for 41, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. But the Seahawks lose the turnover battle because Geno throws another out route without any zip on the ball. And, you know, if you're going to keep throwing those, throw them like a professional quarterback, maybe. Throw them with some speed, because I can't remember. There have been so many picks thrown by Geno Smith on out routes because he throws them so softly, like nobody's covering. Like nobody's covering Tyler Lockett there on the out route. DK Metcalf, what a game. 6 catches, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had that 73-yarder where he showed his track speed. Man, the last time I saw him run that fast in open field was when he was chasing down Buda Baker and prevented him from scoring a pick six. When DK wants to be great, he can be great. I have said this for a while. He has the ceiling of the best wide receiver in the league. 6 catches, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns, 22.3 yards per catch. Some big ones in this one. Some great catches in this one. If one of the takeaways from this game is that DK is going to continue to play like this and stop dropping the ball and develop his craft and want to get better, then that's a great takeaway. I'll say that. Because as far as the Seahawks go, he was the star of this game. Jackson Smith-Njigba continues to impress. This 7-catch, 62-yard line should be more. Should be almost 100 yards. However much that Geno Smith touchdown throw, which should have been a touchdown to him, was. Maybe that was like 20, 30 yards. So it should be at least 8 catches, 85, 90 yards and a touchdown. Seems to me like he got his hand under that ball for the touchdown. Didn't matter. DK scored in the next play because there was pass interference. But, man, Jackson Smith-Njigba showing some real talent. Tyler Lockett, always solid. 5 catches, 47 yards. Wasn't his fault that Deron Bland picked that ball. That was all Geno. Doesn't know how to throw an out route. Should stop throwing them altogether. Noah Fant had a great catch in this one. And he has that ability. He's a great catcher of the ball. The only thing is he runs like friggin' molasses. That guy is slow as all get out. Zach Charbonnet had a catch for 39 yards, 19 rushes for 60 yards and a touchdown. So had 99 total yards. As a rusher, I still think he's just kind of league average. His long was 14. That's kind of what I expect. He averaged 3.2 yards a carry. Jake Bobo, again, only getting him the ball one time for 9 yards. But as good as the offense played for 3 quarters, and they played great, maybe even 3.5 quarters. And Shane Waldron would have taken the mic tonight in the post-game press conference and said, "Shut y'all's butt up. I know what I'm doing." In the fourth quarter, let's go to the play-by-play here. To see the anatomy of a blown game. This is what happened in the late fourth quarter. 4 minutes left in the game. They're matriculating down the field. They get to the Dallas 46-yard line. And it's 4th and 1. And they give it to Zach Charbonnet, which is a great move. But the blocking scheme is not everybody blocking their man. It's almost everybody blocking their man. And then Colby Parkinson looping around in some kind of BS zone scheme and leaving a free rusher to come and tackle Zach Charbonnet. What the heck is that? If you're going to have your tight ends block, keep them there to block. Don't loop a guy around. Like, why are you allowing somebody to come from the edge and tackle your guy in 4th and 1? Just build a wall for him. Don't let anybody get him until they get to the line of scrimmage. They stop him. Turnover on downs. Okay? That is with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. I misspoke. After that happens, you give Dallas the ball basically at midfield. They go score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion. Your lead is blown. Your lead is blown. You get the ball back, down 3 points with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the 4th quarter. You drive down the field. Jackson Smith and Jigba for 18. DJ Dallas for 6. And you get to 2nd and 4. You get to 2nd and 4, again, at midfield. You go Geno Smith, pass. Incomplete to DJ Dallas. 3rd and 4. Geno Smith, pass. Incomplete to JSN. 4th and 4. Geno Smith, pass. Incomplete to JSN. 2nd and 4. You go 3 straight passes. Down 3 points with over 4 minutes left. 3 straight passes on 2nd and 4. You can't get 4 yards rushing the ball. You think your running game is that bad? Turnover on down. 2nd straight one in the 4th quarter. Dallas gets the ball back at midfield again because you didn't convert on 4th down. They go kick a field goal. Great job by the defense there and Tariq Woolen. I'm going to talk about the defense later to prevent them from scoring a touchdown. You're still in it. 41-35 Dallas. You get the ball with 1:43 left. It's all set up for you. Shane Waldron. Shut us up. Geno. Having a great night, except for that pick. Shut us up, man. Shut all the doubters up. You matriculate the ball down the field. Geno Smith, pass to Tyler Lockett, 17 yards. Awesome. Geno Smith, pass to Noah Fant, 8 yards. You're at 2nd and 2 at midfield again. 2nd and 2 at midfield again. 1:18 left. Geno Smith, pass, incomplete to Noah Fant. 3rd and 2. Geno Smith, pass, incomplete to JSN. 4th and 2. The game on the line. 1:07 left in the game. Geno Smith, pass, incomplete to DJ Dallas. 6 straight passes on 2nd and short late in the 4th quarter when you're trying for a comeback win. You played well this entire game, 3.5 quarters. To give us that, to blow it like that. This is why this freaking team is 6-6. It's deserved. It is more than deserved. All right. This defense. Big picture, defense has been carrying this team all year. Seattle, even if you play fantasy, you know Seattle has like a top 5 defense in fantasy points scored. You know, like they haven't given up a lot of points by and large, and they've gotten turnovers, and um, they've been overall solid. But what they did today is allow 41 points, and you know, as I read you that last drive recollection there, you can see why they got those last 14. It's because the Seahawks turned the ball over on downs 3 straight times in the fourth quarter, passing the ball on second and short, and third and short, and fourth and short. But this defense is not without blame. Thing that stood out to me most, Quandre Diggs, learn how to freaking tackle, dude. Like, you're not gonna just shoot out of your own cannon and hit a guy in his midsection and the guy's gonna go down. No, you have to wrap him up. That's like very basic type of stuff. I must have seen, and Quandre Diggs misses a lot of tackles. I must have seen 5 or 6 missed tackles by him in this one. Jamal Adams as well missed 2 or 3 tackles. These are our starting safeties. These are the Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellors of the 2023 Seahawks. And they're not striking fear in anybody's heart because people are bouncing off of them. Bobby Wagner led the team in tackles today. And you know what? When Bobby's able to get to you, he'll get you down. But you need to be in his zone because a lot of times he's not going to catch you. Just isn't that fast. But one of the more discouraging things about this game was Jordan Brooks only had 1 tackle. He had a QB hit, a tackle for loss, a sack, but only 1 tackle as a linebacker. That's I don't know how that happened. I mean, this guy, there are games where he leads the league or leads the team in tackles. The pass rush did pretty well, by and large today. 4 sacks. Jarran Reed, he was the player of the game on defense. 7 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits. I remember he had a big tipped ball on a big play. He had a big sack on a big play. Jarran Reed is really, the resurgence, the Jarran Reed renaissance over these past couple games. I had the tip pass last game that resulted in the pick and big pick 6, and had a great game in this one. Darrell Taylor, a sack, a tackle for loss, and 2 QB hits. But what's not shown on here is an unforgivable missed sack where you had Dak's full body in your grasp. I mean, yet you held him like you were dancing at the prom, and you couldn't get him down. You just couldn't do it, and that was a big one. That was on a big drive, and you couldn't get him down, and that was a big shame. Boye Mafe, 1 QB hit, 2 tackles in this one, didn't do much. Woolen, I'm not even going to try to say your first name anymore. It's disgraceful that you've changed it. Had 2 pass deflections, had 8 tackles. He was tackling a lot because he was allowing CeeDee Lamb to catch a lot of balls today. And something has to change with how they are teaching Woolen how to play defensive back, because they're calling all kinds of penalties on him, whether it's defensive pass interference or holding or hands to the face. I'd have to check, but I would venture to guess that he is one of the most penalized cornerbacks in the league. And it goes back to who he is, which is a guy that they drafted because of his athleticism, not because of his cornerback acumen. So you got to coach him up. You got to coach him up there. These long pass interference calls, they were killer to us. He must have. Let's see how many yards and penalties they gave up in this one. Penalties. Seahawks gave up 130 yards in penalties. I would venture to guess most of those were on Tariq Woolen pass interference calls. So, defensive backs coach, you got your work cut out for you. You're playing the Niners again next week. Teach Woolen how to be a cornerback. Devin Witherspoon, not a bad game. He missed a big tackle on a 3rd and 17. He had a pass deflection. Jake Ferguson was just running all over the place for them as a tight end. He looked like one of the most dangerous guys out there, him and CeeDee Lamb on their offense. Leonard Williams, a positive development. He had 3 total tackles as an interior lineman. That's not bad. 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit. Yeah. An interesting wrinkle in this game, not a single punt by either team, and no kick returns for Seattle. So D. Eskridge, unfortunately, maybe the Cowboys watched tape about the fact that he ran back 140 yards worth of kick returns last week. He was not able to reprise that. He wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't given an opportunity to do anything in this game. That could have been the difference. On the other side here, I mean, these are pretty normal stats, I would say, for a shootout like this. Dak, 299 yards and 3 touchdowns. Geno Smith threw for more yards, threw for as many touchdowns. Running game was similar. Tony Pollard, 10 rushes, 68 yards, got the touchdown. Rico Dowdle, 5 carries, 15 yards. They got their quarterback and their CeeDee Lamb running a little bit. That's how they ended up with 136. CeeDee Lamb, 12 catches, 116 yards, touchdown. He's a great receiver. Jake Ferguson really, really stood out today. He is an up-and-coming player for them. He's better than Dalton Schultz was for them last year. That's saying something because Schultz was good. But you could have won this game. You had a 35-27 lead in the fourth quarter. And you blew it. You really blew this one. I mean, we talked about how after the Rams game you had a gauntlet and you could have, lost all of them. You started with a terrible one against the 49ers at home, and you go to Dallas and you're up 8 points in the fourth quarter, and you blow it. And Seahawks are running out of lives in this season, and this one is almost. I feel like it's going to affect them more than if they had gotten blown out, because you had something and you had a win and you let it go. You threw it away. Maybe one positive in this is that you show people what a lot of us Seahawks supporters already know, which is this offense has a tremendous amount of talent, and it's all about putting it in the right place. And this league has seen for the past 10 games, 10 weeks, that the defense is a good defense. And I think, when you consider some of this fourth quarter stuff and giving up those 14 points to Dallas and how it's coming off of, 3 straight turnovers on downs by the offense, maybe it's not as egregious. But then Jason Myers, what are you doing with Jason Myers? You paid him a lot of money and he's missing a 42-yarder. And you play San Francisco at San Francisco next week. You're at a crossroads. You're at 6-6. What a wasted chance. All right, I'm bringing this podcast to an end. Let me know your thoughts. Follow, share, like, subscribe. Until next time, have a fantastic day, football fans.